All right, zone run game. Let's just get to it. So when we run our zone scheme, what we're trying to get done is we want to create separation in the defense. We're going to stretch the front side. We want to get front side movement and get push, all right, horizontally, and then on the back side we want to get them cut off, and we want to try to create that crease through that division of the defense. So kind of what that's going to look like is this right here where we're getting that front side push and we're forcing those guys to widen. But then on the back side, you see we're trying to get some cutoff right there and create that crease somewhere along there. The width, the horizontal push, the separation puts pressure on the defense. Now, that's the way that we would we would love for it to play out every time, but typically your backside, you're going to get flow in a lot of different ways, and so a lot of times you end up with this right here, where, the backside has got to maintain their gaps. You get a lot of flow to keep those gaps all together, and then we can get that bend back lane. Now, how we teach it, number one, we block it different whether it's odd or even. Okay, and we'll handle odd front a number of different ways. We'll handle even front a number of different ways. But we've kind of got a system for, hey, we can call out when it's an even front, and our guys can know what to do. We can call out when it's an odd front, and our guys are going to know what to do. Our center is going to handle all the IDing. Okay, so that our guards and our tackles can just simply be told what to do, and they know exactly who they're comboing with, they know exactly who they're working to, what their job is. So our center is going to declare. He's going to declare the front and the automatic scheme that goes with it. So he'll lay out the scheme of what all five of those guys are going to do, including the tight ends and anybody else that's involved. Now our combos in zone are always going to be um, built with, the first man of the combo is going to be working a settle lift. He's going to be responsible for getting up underneath the first level defender, and then that second guy is going to be either zoning it and trying to create that push, or depending on the location of the backer that they're working to, he may work a shuffle shoulder punch. Depending on where they may have to come off on this deal. And then how we handle the C gap, we do that in multiple ways. Now our guys got to be ready. Ready. We got to deal with pressures. So we've got alert calls for front side edge pressure, backside edge pressure, interior walk ups. How we deal with plugs and crosses. We got call outs for that stuff. But let's get to some of the video. And here's what you're going to see. First batch of clips is all going to be read zone. That's the first way that we handle the backside C gap defenders. We'll read them with the quarterback, and if that player commits to the running back, then the quarterback can pull it and run wide around the edge on a quarterback key. Then we've also got our divide action where we're going to either kick out or come across. And have somebody kick out on that backside C gap defender, or we may work insert on the backside, meaning that we're going to take a fullback and we're going to let him insert through the backside on the backside linebacker, and we're going to have the backside of the offensive line. They're going to block man on. They're going to go big on big. So essentially, we'll get a man on the backside C gap defender, and then there's more of our man zone concept. This is a little bit more of a 10 personnel call. We're just trying to block 5-on-5 in the box. But the best example for us to begin looking at this thing is read, because read typically, always stays the same. It's our truest form of zone, as opposed to the other ones. The moment that we block the backside C gap defender, we can begin to adjust how we handle the backside, and depending on who our opponent is that week and where their strengths are at, we may not always reach the backside, but we may take different angles on the backside. So read is our purest version of it. So I'll start with that, and then we'll get into the other ones and finish with man. So here's our read zone stuff. This is a 1st and 10 in the playoffs. one of our quick motions, and again, we like to use motions and in shifts as much as we can, but we try to keep them as simple as possible. And so we'll use our tight end motions to quickly build them into screen perimeters. Okay, so we're working screen perimeter to the middleman up top, and one of the big things that we're getting is, that we get a quick indicator on what the coverage is right here. So we know they're playing some form of man. At the end of the day, quarterback can see that with the pre-snap, so he knows he's getting, true 4-2 box right here. So we're going to get a simple read on the backside end. But let's get to the tight shot of it so we can see it. So dealing with an even front right here, we're going to get, we're going to get man on. We're going to get center and play side guard combo on the 3 technique to the play side backer. We're going to get a backside B combination, meaning that we're getting our backside guard, backside tackle. They're responsible for the interior down lineman to their side up to the backside backer. They're going to try to get this cut off. We're going to try to press this path, press it across, bring it to the front side A gap. But we want to keep our shoulder square pressing through it, and hopefully we can keep this seam right here. If 9 overplays it, then we could get bend back all the way back behind it. But we're telling those running backs the most important thing is aiming point. You got to press the play side guard, and you got to get the ball up into the line of scrimmage before you can go jump cutting and make any decision on where you're going to go. If you make your decision, halfway back in the backfield, and you begin to commit to that decision early, well, then all those linebackers and second level players are going to have every opportunity to redirect and play it. So we're teaching those guys square shoulders and press the ball up in the line of scrimmage before you execute what you know you need to do. You may know 3 yards in the backfield where this ball needs to go, but you may still need to press the ball up in the line of scrimmage first so that you can force the defense to commit to what they're showing to you. So you can see this right here. Quarterback, running back do a good job with the run mesh. Quarterback is keeping his anchor foot in the ground. We're pressing across to the B gap with the running back. He's got good shoulders right here. Then he gets the ball up in the line of scrimmage before he makes any decisions. That's really important because you can see 9 pressing across. So I could decide right now to try to go cut back, back over here to the backside of 98, but if I commit to that right now, 9's got a chance to get back over top of that block. So by pressing it up in the line of scrimmage, now we've completed the block right there for the climbing backside guard. Now we've put 9 where we want them. Now we can get behind that block and be where we want to be. So good run mesh right there by those two. Quarterback needs to carry out his fake on this stuff because we need to keep that backside defensive end number 8 who's allowing us to get the handoff. We need to keep him out of the play downfield. So we're going to gain 11 right here. If we could have kept 8 more occupied, maybe we go gaining more off of that at the end of the day before the high safety ends up getting to us. All right. The front side combination right here in the 3 technique, I do like the movement that we're getting on this. Okay, so good job by the play side guard being underneath his screws, the top screws of our helmet underneath his screws right here, and then good hand placement and drive by the center. So we're really getting that movement on the 3 technique. Now, when they start to spin out, that's when we got to be able to replace that backside hand and try to prevent against that spin out, or they're going to come off of us every single time. All right, one thing our guys got to be alert for is on the front side, anytime we're starting to get these tight 5s, we got to start asking the question of, okay, at what point do I got to worry about this being a spike by the 5 technique? Because if we're going to deal with the team who's going to play the spike, or if we're going to deal with the team who maybe they're going to play that 5 technique, that maybe they're going to start playing him in a 4 and letting the play side backer start playing to the outside where we're getting that 4 heavy inside, and forcing the play to bounce out the front door and let the play side backer get to it. We start getting those situations, we'll start having to make trio calls, which now is saying, hey, instead of us working a man and 2 men here in a combo, let's work a 3-man combination because we're getting really tight edge player right there. So let's make it a 3-man combination on 1, 2, 3, so that if they do start playing the double spike with the play side backer getting to the front side edge to play the bounce, then now we can pick that up. So now I can anticipate that. Center's coming here. We get the spike coming to the center. Guard's ready for that spike to come to him so he can come off of it. And then the tackle can treat this more like a combination. So when he gets that spike, he can stay vertical and be able to pick up that play side backer as he comes across. So those are some of our alerts that we got to deal with. All right, now we're going to see some more of this where we've got 4 hands down and a walk up, okay? So the same situation right here, but now we're getting this, whereas instead of that tight defensive end with an up backer, now we've got that tight defensive end with an edge backer. Now we're going to play this game differently. This needs to be a 4-man combination, okay, which really is going to end up turning into a 5-man combination, where we've got to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if this one was playing in a 2-eye, then that tackle is really going to get a clean path to the back to the Mike backer right there. Okay, because this one's playing in more of a 2 to a 3 technique. Now I really need to chip through on this thing. But the moment we get our 4-man call, we're going guard, center, guard, tackle for 1, 2, 3, 4. The moment that we're 4-man calling it, that backside tackle's got to be thinking, I got to get through and get to that Mike right there. Now, they do a decent job. We got good contact on the line of scrimmage. Backside tackle does get contact on the backside too, but we don't want to make contact with the back of the man. We want to strike the hip and knock this thing across, so we need to play lower here. All right, play lower, knock it through on our path up to the mic. Now we can get to the mic. Now this thing has a chance to bend back. All right, right now this thing can't get a bend back because we got a big mess going on right here, and so the running back's going to take it out the front door instead of taking it out the back door. Good job by the running back pressing the B gap. Okay. I think he would have gotten it more up into the line of scrimmage if we weren't giving up a little bit of penetration right here with the nose. Center on this call, the moment we go with our 4-man call, the center's got to be thinking, hey, I can't go to the play side number. I have to block through the backside number. That's where I want to be fitting. I need to have my hand back here in the backside, in the backside rib cage, and I need to have my hat on his backside number right there because we want to get that movement happening right here. We don't want him to be able to fall back. So good read by the running back to be able to recognize, hey, this is on the backside half. I'm going to press this thing through the front side. All right, good jump cut by him to get through there. All right, good read by the quarterback right here on the run mesh. All right, good decision. We get hesitation by 7. All right, they're playing the squeeze technique, so we're going to go ahead and hand it and let him go play with it and then carry out my fake. Want to get a better fake on that one. That's always the hardest part with the QBs, with all the RPOing that we do, is when we do run our read zone, we try to teach those guys, hey, be a running back when we're running read zone. So whether you got the ball or you don't got the ball, you need to be running. All right, good read by the Q here on the keep. Okay, we're getting 4-2 box. It's really an odd front. Okay, it's really an odd front. All right, we've got no guards covered in this situation. Okay, so it's an odd front, but we knew going into this week the way that they were going to play these edge guys, and so we weren't going to worry about these edge guys. We knew we wanted to keep the run tight in the box right here when we handed it to the back. So what we're actually going to do in this odd front is we're going to get combination guard tackle up and backside guard and center working to that backside backer, and then he's got to scoop and dig this one out. We're going to read number 20 right here. Now, as wide as he is, initial thinking should be, hey, this is definitely going to be a handoff, but we've got to read and go through this run mesh either way. All right, we don't do a good job getting up to the play side backer, but we are eliminating the play side defensive end right there on the front side. So that's a positive. We'd like to be able to come off and pick up that play side backer, but he ends up being a non-factor anyway. Really good job by the center and the backside guard working the nose to the backside backer. All right, really good job on those two right there. All right, and then good read by the quarterback on 28 right there. Now, I wish we would have finished this, but the backside tackle on the dig out, really good job right there. I'd like to see at this point for us to be lower and get vertical push and go drive this guy. We've put him in a position where we can go finish the block, but we end up letting him come back out of it. But good read by the quarterback right there. And then when we read and we work our pulls, when we work on this in practice, we'll put a landmark out wide. We want our quarterbacks, we want their habit on pull to be circle the field and get out wide and get around it. We don't want our guys to be thinking tight all the time coming off this because we want to put that guy in a bind as much as possible. So we always teach circle the field. We want to head wide, okay, and then be ready for, cutting it upfield if need be. But we always believe in starting with that wide angle. All right, and 1st and 10, it was a good first down pickup for us right there. And you can see right there the dead foot right there. That's how we want to go into the read, where we want to press it all the way across, and we want to force that step. Okay, so I've got my anchor foot in the ground, but I want to force that step all the way into this one. I want that weight to transfer from my anchor to my front side foot so that right there, now I've got a full run mesh. I've ridden that ball all the way across. So now when I pull it, I'm getting that from that read end right there. I'm getting him to commit. If he's going to be a player who's going to play the back, then I'm going to get him to commit to it. All right, so I can get wide and get around it. Okay, now when we're running read, sometimes we're going to get that light box. Okay, so here's the situation right here where we're getting really a 4-1 box. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, or excuse me, we're getting a 5-man box. So we got 5 on 5. So our backside backer has now walked out of the box on the backside. If he was in the box, we would be working man on, combo to the play side, in a tackle guard combination up to where the backside backer would be. But since he's walked out, now these guys are going to make a man-man call on the backside, and so now we're going to go ahead and lock up. Okay, now he doesn't need to zone in anymore. He needs to get inside out on that D end, and they've got to be ready for fold back by that one if they were going to be working some type of twist game. His eyes are in the right place. But we're working poor technique on the combination. But we've got 5 on 5, so we can get this thing handed off and go run with it. Good job by the back with the aiming point. Okay, probably needs to press it across a little wider to begin with, but keep the shoulder square and press the ball up in there. You can see it's just enough. It's just enough to hold that backer here so we can get that center up to him. All right, and get just enough on him so that we can take him out of the play. This was a big gain for us, okay, in a big game right there. All right, big 2nd and 3. We're late in the game right now. This was our drive to go win it, and big plus 35 explosive for us in that situation. All right. Kind of same deal right here. We're in 3-by-1. We're getting that backside backer has walked out again, and so now we're getting that 5-man box. Okay, so here we are with the 5-man box. It's an even front. We're gonna get man on right here. We're gonna play man on with the play side guard. We're gonna combo here, and then we should just lock up because the backside backer's out of the box. There's the lock up. There's the combination 72-20. Okay, and good job by the back. Back presses it to the B gap where we want him to go with it. Press it across, keep the shoulder square, get the ball to line of scrimmage before you make your cut, and you can see that right there. Press it to the line of scrimmage before you make the cut. Once you get it in the line of scrimmage, he probably knew back here where he wanted to go with it. But if he makes that cut right now, then 20 and everybody else has a chance to spin out of it. So we press up into it before we make the cut. There's the cut. Okay, now we're fitting that crease. On the backside, we want to do a better job on the man-to-man right here. We don't need to pass set these guys, okay, because the moment we start sinking back, then we leave that that escape to come back inside. So what we actually want to teach our guys is it's more like a base block. I want to take that inside foot, I want to put it up and down, and I want to get inside out, and I want to base block this guy and get movement on him. My quarterback knows, hey, I've got a 5-man box. This is an easy handoff right here. Not going to be any part of a run read on this, so it's automatically going to be a handoff. I want to give a better fake. Okay, that's our read zone stuff. So when we go read zone, that run mesh always has to push across to the B gap. Okay, we've got to get away from the backside read defender. And we've always got to be trying to work, hey, let's cut off the backside, and if they overflow, then we'll turn it into push and get the bend back. Now, the moment that we start blocking the backside C-gap player, now we can kind of change how we block the backside. So instead of trying to cut off the backside, we may actually work a little bit more of a duo combo on the backside, and we may try to push that thing across and dictate where that thing's going to go. Block it more like we would in our gap scheme. So you can go to a better shot right here. We're going to slice back all the way to the defensive end. Okay, we've got a tight end on the play side, and it's an even front. So now what we're going to get is this: we're going to get tight end tackle working a T combination. They're going to block the defensive end out to the outside backer. We're going to get center play side guard combo on the 3 up to the play side backer. We're going to get backside guard and tackle. We're going to be combination to the backside through the backside interior D lineman up to the backside backer. Okay, so those are our combinations that we're working right here. And because we're blocking the C-gap defender, it doesn't have to be pressed across to the B-gap. Now we'll actually take this thing and be a little bit more square to the center and be more patient, because now this thing can go multiple ways. Okay, we've got the backside C-gap player taken care of, so now I can be in more of a position to go back door, middle, take it out the front door. Okay, and good job by the running back again. Press it up into the line of scrimmage before you make that decision. Force the backers to commit. You can see 25 hesitates, but then he commits because we pressed the ball up into the line of scrimmage. Good job on the backside. They work a twist on the backside. Good job by the backside guard, recognizing the twist, keeping his shoulder square, and coming off on it. So now we're able to get the tailback all the way up to the safety. Ends up being a good play for us right there. Okay, similar situation. So now we're going to block the C-gap player with our backside on the ball tight end. Okay, we were dealing with a 4-3 front in this game, and so we were actually going to run a lead scheme off of this. So we're going to take our fullback. He's going to lead to the play side backer. That way, our center guard combination could always work up to the mic. We could get our backside combination work into the backside backer, and then we take our backside tight end, and he's responsible for kick out at the end of the day. So he's going to block that C-gap player wherever he's at. Same rules going on in the run game. We're going to press this thing up in the line of scrimmage, stay square, okay, so that we can hit this thing wherever it needs to go. Now, a couple things right here. Number one, we were seeing those tight defensive ends, and so we started making our 3-man call. So now, instead of just being, hey, we're going to go man right there and combo those two up, now it's going to become a 3-man combination. So now we're 1, 2, 3 for the D end, the interior D lineman, and the Mike backer. They still know it's a lead call, so the fullback's got this one, and he does a good job of being inside out in that relationship. That's exactly where we want to be at. Just like we're trying to teach our offensive line on the front side, we want to be blocking the inside number. That's exactly the same thing we want to tell the fullback right there if he can get that. Okay? But you can see right here, there's the spike. All right? There's the spike by the defensive end, and so now we can turn this thing into a 3-man, 3-for-3 working up to the mic. Okay? Good job by the running back. Press it up in there. Okay? Keep your shoulders square and go get yardage. All right, we're going to be working our divide again right here. So we're kicking out the backside defensive end with the fullback. We're going to have tight end on the front side. So we're going to end up with a tackle tight end combination. So look, it's an even front, but we're dealing with 4-3. We wanted this in this scheme for us to always be able to be center, play side guard, working up to that mic together. So they're going to work to the 3 technique up to the mic so we can stay vertical. We're going to get backside combination, guard and tackle. All right, and then on the play side, we're working tackle tight end, blocking the defensive end, but not to the outside backer. It's a 4-3, so they're actually going to work to the Sam. So the moment this was in a 9, that tackle knows I'm in a quick read, first step. As long as that 9 stays outside, I'm 1 step, and then I'm going up to the Sam backer right here. Okay, so it's going to be real quick step. 9's outside. There's 9. He's outside. I'm immediately going up to the Sam backer right there. Tight end's got to do a better job being able to stay on his man. His eyes are down. We don't have any fit with our hands right here. And our steps are not what we want. We want to be up and down with the inside foot. We want to quickly be able to turn this thing into a base block. Okay? With the center play side guard right here, a little bit of the same. Okay, where our center knew, hey, we're going to be able to quick 1 step on these 3 techniques and get up to the mic backer, and we do that. On the backside is where we really do a good job. You can see backside guard and tackle, we're going to get a settle lift, get up underneath them, and then that tackle is going to come strike that hip and knock this thing across, and you can see the movement that we get on 97. And that's what we're trying to create in our combination. Settle lift. We want to be, our screws are lower than his. We want to force him to play over top of us. And then we want to create displacement by striking that hip and that rib cage right there and forcing that defender to go where we want. At that point, he might be a big guy, he might be stronger than all of us, but at that point, the laws of physics say, hey, you're going to move and there's nothing you can do about it. So really good job by the tackle coming off on it. Now, this backside combination is working to the backside backer, which at the beginning we know who the backside backer is, but they're playing a man scheme, and so that backside backer is going to leave and go across. Now, when that happens, it doesn't automatically mean that the mic is a new backside backer, because the mic is standing in a true mic location directly over top of the center. So we need to be more patient working our combination. Once we get that displacement, don't immediately think that the mic is the guy that we've got to get to, because now our guy is coming back. And that's where we'd rather be at, is right here on 25. Let the center work to 0 right there, and we'll end up being okay. All right, center ends up getting knocked down because our displacement was so good on 97. So it ends up working well for us. Good job by the back, though. Back does a good job being square. All right, this is why our run mesh is a little bit different when we're blocking the C-gap defender. Instead of pressing across to the play side guard, we take this thing more to the middle, because we've got kind of a 3-way go all the way across the field where we need to take this thing. But really good job by the back, staying patient. He presses the ball up in the line of scrimmage before he goes committing to his cut, and we turn it into a 10-yard gain right there. Okay. All right, again, more divide action right here. Okay, we're going to get the fullback blocking back on the backside defensive end. Now, this is what we're going to get. We've got an odd front. Okay, our center calls out the odd front. Everybody knows the combinations we got going on. Right now, the combinations are this. We're working tackle guard, working together, defensive end out. We're working guard center. They're going to work nose across. Okay, and the backside tackle has got to be responsible for the B gap. All right, if there's no first level defender playing through the B gap, then he gets to work his own climb going through it. Now, they're going to shift. And what we had to teach our guys was that, hey, if we put you guys in our odd call, the moment they shift, without the center saying anything, it automatically switches the call to our even call. So they would know, hey, if there was any shift, we didn't have to worry about where they shifted to. We would, with our pre-planning, we would look at all the shifts and do our due diligence and say, okay, hey, every shift that they've shown has said, hey, they're lining up in odd. Every time they shift, they're getting even. They're shifting because they want to change the front. And so the moment that happens, now we start changing the call. So we're communicating without saying a word right here. They know when we see the shift, it automatically flips the call to another thing that we had going on. So now they knew that our combinations change. There's a shift. Now our guys automatically knew, hey, I'm going to be man on right here. We're going to go center play side guard. We're going to combination here up. We're going to get a B on the backside, working up to the backside back, and we're going to block the backside C-gap player. There's the block on the backside C-gap player. That's how we want to hit that thing, go violent. We don't want to stop our feet or allow them to spin out of it at the end of the day. Okay? Good job on the backside B, backside tackle and guard. All right. Backside tackle and guard. Good job by them in the combination, really getting that thing cut off and creating some vertical movement on the backside. Okay. And the running back does a good job of just taking the ball where it's supposed to go. Okay. So the running back is pressing that thing play side. All right, but he gets it north and south, keeps it up through there. We're going to go a good hard 6-yard gain right here. The ball just going where it needs to go. All right. Now we also would do insert stuff on the backside. I'm going to get to the tight shot on this. So with the insert stuff on the backside, what we're going to get is this. We're dealing with even front right now, okay? So we're going to get man on. We're going to get combination here to here. We're going to get combination here going up to here. But we're going insert with him to the backside backer, okay? All right, so look. We're going to get that combination working through there. He's going to stay there. And now we get to insert with the fullback to whatever shows. In this case, should be number 7. All right. We'd like to get him up to number 7 right there. We got man on by the backside tight end. We got combination up to number 14. And they're doing a good job on that combination. We've got that thing stalemated. What we don't need is we don't need the fullback also working to 14. If we can get the fullback working to 7, we'll be perfect. We'll be kicking out. We'll be getting somebody up to 14. We'll be able to run this thing right up through here. Running back ends up running all the way around it. That's a good job by him. You can see it better from the back end. Okay. So we're going to be man on. We're going to combination here to here. We're going to combination here going up to there. And now if we would strike that hip and not cut off on this thing, okay, which we were not working cutoff this week, if we would have stayed more square on the set of lift, strike the hip, get across, and then get upfield, we could have the tackle up to here, the fullback inside out, and we would just take this handoff and run it right between these two players and just follow that ISO lead right there. Good job by the back. All right, same situation. We're going to work the insert on the backside. So now there is no tight end on the backside of this. So when there is no tight on the backside of this, the tackle is automatically locked man on. So we're going to get tackle locked man on. We're going to get man on the defensive end, man on the wide 3 technique. We're going to combo the backside nose of the play side backer, and we're going to insert with our tight end on the backside backer. Good job by him being patient and fitting when the timing is needed for the fit. He's on the backside number, which is good. That's where we want to be. Okay, we've got a number of places we could take this. We could actually take this thing through the back door as well, but we do a good job on the front side with that defensive end, taking him out of the play right there, and a good job getting movement by the play side guard, working our way up. So that's a good run right there. Good job, man, on the backside. Hand placement needs to be better. We always want our inside hand to be inside. We want it to be down lower on the rib cage right there. We want to be fitting that just like that. Okay, but really good movement. This nose that we were combo, this is a great job by the backside guard. Okay, good job just being underneath him. Great hat placement. Look at his hand placement inside where you want it to be, and great finish right there. And that nose was a really good player on that North Atlanta team. All right, same thing right here with running insert on the backside. So we do a little eye candy, a little motion action. What we're actually working right here is we're working combination. It's an odd front. We're working guard tackle, comboing out there. We're going to be getting an A on the backside, so we're getting guard center combination up to that one. We're going to lock man on and let the fullback insert on this. Now the play side backer, who the A is working to, is now going to walk up. And so the moment the walk-up started happening, then our guys started changing their calls. And so now, instead of treating this as, hey, we're still going to be in a two-man out to here, our backer now starts to walk up to the edge. They started four-man in this. And so now we're getting to a call. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4 are responsible for the nose, the down lineman, the backer, and the backer if they walked up. So we're going to get four-man pushing all the way across, lock man right there, get the tight end inserting up on the backside. Good job being inside out by the tight end. You can see we missed it with the back, okay? And you can see from the feet right here, back's in the wrong location. We should be lined up directly behind the guard, okay, on the heels of the quarterback. We're going to take one open step and press this thing and just press it across right here to the front side A-gap. We want to press this thing across to force that pressure. And then we know we want to take it back here. We're going to take a one cut and stay vertical and go through it. And that's where it's going to hit at, right there. Too much dancing around. You can tell we're a little bit nervous this night, unsure about what we're doing. Okay, there's no reason for this play to go back here. This play should just ride right off of this. We should go run right through that referee. And go score a touchdown going north and south instead of bouncing around. Okay, now we start getting into some of our five-man stuff. So this is more of our 10 personnel stuff. So especially like when we're playing odd front teams or teams that are going to give us a 4-1 box, what we're going to do is we're just going to go 5 for 5 in the box. So right now we got a 5-man box. We're going to go essentially we're going to go combination. All right, working a G working up. We're going to work an A combination on the backside guard center here to the backside back. We're going to lock up man. So we're just getting 5 on 5 in the box. When we call this, now our run mesh in the backfield is not so much coming across as it is we're taking this thing. We want to get going directly downhill right at the butt of the center. Now, we don't do a good job on the center guard combination. They get underneath us quick, and we're getting that center pushed into the backfield right there. So that's kind of throwing off the run mesh. But we are getting the people hat on hat that we're supposed to be getting hat on hat. Good job on the front side combination on the G. Okay. Good job. We'd like our hand placement to be lower, but we're getting push, and that's a good job by the guard recognizing and coming off on the backer as he comes down. All right, and then we go run around it. So we go for a +5 right there. Again, now we're in a 2x2, but same situation. We're going to go 5 for 5. So our guys know, hey, odd front, we're going 5 for 5. We're going to box it up. So we're going to get guard tackle combination to the up backer, guard center combination to the backside backer. We're going to lock up man. We're going to let the quarterback deal with these two. Now, if we did get walk up and we knew they were bringing blitz, now we can change our call. So instead of being combination up, we can be combination out, because typically if we're getting this, a lot of times we're going to be getting that, and so we'll trade off 1 for 1 on that. Okay, now if we weren't going to be getting the other one, if we felt like, hey, we're going to be getting this, and we're going to be getting this happening right here, the old NCAA blitz. Now, in game plan, we might say, hey, look, any edge pressure this week, we can't just out it and change our combination call. We got to turn this into a 4-man. So now we'd have to be guard center, guard tackle for nose, down lineman, and those two backers of the play side. We were not getting that from this team that week. So if we had gotten walk up, we were just going to out it. You can see real simple, their up backer began to walk down, so they just out it, the two of them. We don't have to change the combination. We don't have to bring everybody else pilots with us. They'll handle that. We'll get that combination up to the backside backer, and we'll just hand it off, keep it in the box. Now, probably need to keep this thing more front side. All right, we're going to take it out, and you can see he's going to get there eventually, but he gets there late. And this is why the steps, all right, and pressing the aiming point and being patient before you go making decisions is important. You can make a decision in the backfield, but you can't execute that decision until you hit the line of scrimmage. So if we would have been more patient, we would have hit this thing with good timing. Just press it here. No reason to jump cut back door. Press it and then go hit it out that way. And we would have had a much better one. That's where he wanted to go with it when the play was over with anyway. But he took himself out of the run mesh and put him in a bad situation so he couldn't get to where he wanted to go. So those are our zone runs. Number of ways that we do it. We like inside zone. We like inside zone because we think it gives our backs the easiest reads and some of the most options. And the other part is we get a lot of man-free coverage. And anytime we're getting man-free coverage, we want to be able to make our quarterback a part of the run game. And zone read is obviously one of the easiest ways to be able to do that. So that's us in the zone run game. Next part, we'll start getting into some outside runs, but that's our zone.